Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Neuvillette by me. So let's get into it. Neuvillette kept hearing a hum somewhere very far away in the seas of Fontaine. He had no idea who it was, where exactly it was coming from, but it was odd, and something that plagued him whenever he took his nightly strolls by the shores of the sea. So of course he was bound to get a little bit curious. Though he usually does not pry when it does not concern him, he just couldn't help but feel like he was pulled in by this beautiful voice, and whoever it was, the desire to know who was behind it was making him itch, as he just desperately wanted to abandon his duties for once and go and see where that voice was coming from. And since he had nothing to do for the rest of the day, and that person seemed to be singing now, surely he could check it out. It would be harmless, wouldn't it? Or so he thought, anyway. And soon he was swimming in the sea, still clad in his outfit, getting closer and closer to the voice that lured him in even deeper and deeper into the depths of the sea. Little did he know that behind this was a siren that wanted to lure him in, closer and closer, until you would finally be able to take him. Maybe then you would eat him, or you would show him off to the rest of the sirens. It really depends on who your prey is. But once you see Neuvillette and you capture him, he does not exactly struggle at all. No, he's more frozen, bewildered, and completely caught off guard. If he wanted to struggle, he would have, and he would probably defeat you in an instant. He is the dragon of all waters, and so defeating creatures in waters or on land is not any trouble for him. But he couldn't help but be caught off guard as well. Staring at him has beautiful eyes, and his body, he did not look entirely human, but he looked too close as well. You didn't know what kind of creature he was, but a part of you did not want to just eat him or even show him off to anyone. And before you knew it, he knocked you away and towered over you. Just what are you doing? He yelled, but you couldn't help but keep staring, smiling. So, you're really not a human. You don't even have a vision, right? I've seen them, those visions on humans. They're quite strange. So who are you? You must be really strong if you can fight me off. Well, it doesn't really matter. What are you? You smile, looking at him, chuckling. You know humans get really surprised when you say this, so you wonder what look you'll see on his face. I am a siren. You know, like the ones that you see in those books and legends. But I am a real one. You came here because of my singing, correct? Indeed, that is correct, but I don't suppose that's you. Please let me finish. I'm saying that, basically, well, I don't really want to do anything with you. Usually if it was a human, I would do other things, but maybe we could be friends? You're not a human anyway, I can tell that much. So, please, do stay. I want to see you again, and you seem much friendlier than all the humans I've met. He tilts his head, a bit confused. What do you mean friendlier? Besides, I do know that sirens usually kill humans. So you have done something rather unlawful. I cannot forgive such behaviors. But did you even give us a chance to be in Fontaine? You never even cared about us sirens. So what does that really say about you? Oh, so fair and impartial, Chief Justice. Well, I suppose you do have a point. Then maybe I will give you a chance. A chance to prove that you do, in fact, want to live in peace with the humans in Fontaine. You will sign a contract with me, and then, when he burst out laughing, he stared at you, tilting his head. A contract? We live underwater. I don't want to sign any contracts, and I don't want to do anything. But if you do come and visit again, and decide to be my friend, then maybe I will think about making peace with the humans. Okay? And that was how it started. Neuvillette seeing you every day during his free time, making sure to allocate time for you, since he didn't want to risk anything happening. And frankly, he found you rather enjoyable. The things you showed him, in the sea, and the stories you told him, they all made his heart sing. It was beautiful, in a way that the world could never be. Not that the human world was disappointing, but this simply had an air of magic that nothing else could replicate. And after 2 weeks of seeing each other daily, you hold his hand, looking into his eyes. Alright, I think that we can consider ourselves friends, right? Well, if that's the case, I wouldn't want to make my friend sad. So, I will concede. I will stop harming humans. And as for the rest of the sirens, I will do my best to talk to them and convince them of your ways. I'm sure that we can come to a conclusion. But will you stop seeing me now? I don't want to stop seeing you, Neuvillette. He smiled, looking at you. He didn't know what this feeling was in his heart, but he knew it was strong. Strong enough that he couldn't bear not to see you again. And so, he shook his head. I will always want to see you again, no matter what we're doing. There doesn't have to be any condition for me to see you. I would simply be pleased to be able to be in your presence. That is all, he says, and you smile, holding his hand. Well, I'm glad to know that, Neuvillette. I would love to see you again. And little did you know, you would keep on seeing each other for a long time, and there would be so much more in your hearts than you would ever expect from a random meeting.